Have you ever been made to feel like you weren't good enough? Not because of the results that you created, not because of your effort, but because of how someone chose to either see you or interact with you. Maybe it showed up as being handed work that didn't quite match your level or being overlooked for something that you knew you could do standing on your head. And then your confidence started to erode one small moment at a time until you started to wonder if maybe they were right about you. Well, today in this From My Coaching Room episode, I want to tell you about a client that I've been working with who went through exactly this. And I want to share with you what happened when she took the same expertise that she was using in her corporate job and put it somewhere else. Because what happened for her is proof of something that I want every single one of you listening to this episode to hear. So grab your notebook and let's get into it. Welcome to the Career Changemaker podcast. Do you want clear direction about your next chapter, but find yourself overthinking every move and worrying about getting it wrong? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Janine Esbrand, corporate lawyer turned career coach, keynote speaker, and mother of two. And I've discovered how to gain real career clarity and build an impactful career on my terms without sacrificing security or burning out. If you're ready for aligned career options, confident decisions, and work that protects your peace, close that comparison tab on LinkedIn, grab your notebook, and let's dive in. Before we dive in, I want to remind you that if you are not on our email list, now is the time for you to jump on. I share regular emails to the list on what's going on behind the scenes, on key insights, on various different resources that are going to be useful for you. And we have something exciting coming up very, very soon that I want to make sure you know about first. So jump in and join us. The link is in the show notes to this episode. I'm working with a client at the moment and I won't share her name, but I will share her story because I think so many of you will resonate with her experience. She is senior, she is experienced, she's genuinely excellent at what she does. But in her current role, she has been given work that is more aligned to someone who is far more junior. Not because she doesn't have the capability, not because she doesn't have the skills, but just because of the way that the organization and the team is structured and that her manager decides how the work is distributed. She is getting work that is way below her pay grade, right? And here's what that does to somebody who is highly ambitious and who takes care and pride in their work. Some might say, oh, well, it's good. You don't have to work as hard. You're just given work that you can do super easy. So just crack on. But here's what that does to somebody who is super ambitious and who likes to make sure that they do a good job. Starts to erode your confidence in your ability because you start to wonder whether or not you're actually as good as you thought you were. You start to wonder whether you've been overestimating yourself all along because you think, well, if they're giving me this level of work, maybe they don't think that I'm capable of that next level. If they are overlooking me so that they can give this project to someone else, perhaps I haven't demonstrated my capability enough. So you start questioning and you start doubting and you start thinking that actually maybe I'm not ready for that next level role. Maybe this role and this level is where I should be because this is the type of work that I'm getting used to doing. And these thoughts and these doubts, they creep in. And it doesn't happen in a dramatic way, right? It happens in a way where you're 6 months, you're a year, you're 18 months into a role and you look up and you think, hold on, what am I actually doing? What am I actually doing on the day-to-day here? Because this is the type of work that I was doing 10 years ago in a previous role, but I was way more junior than this one. So why am I doing it right now? And it can mess with your head, right? If you're not really noticing the way that you're thinking and you're starting to have these beliefs that are creeping in, but you're not addressing them and you're not checking them, they can then have a massive knock in your confidence. And that's exactly what happened with my client, because when we started working together and she was sharing with me all that she's done in her career to date, and then she shared what she's doing right now, it was clear that her confidence has taken a real hit. But here's what happened. As part of the work that we were doing together, she started to offer the same expertise that she was working with within her organization externally. So the same skills, the same experience, the same person, but she was offering her expertise in a different room, and the response was completely different. Instead of giving her work that was way below what she was capable of, people valued her current level of expertise, and people saw exactly what her organization had missed or had stopped seeing. And here's what I want you to catch. Her expertise never changed. The room in which she was sharing it did. If you have been feeling undervalued in your current role, then I want you to pay attention to these three things. Number one, feeling undervalued is contextual. It's not evidential. And what I mean by that is when one manager or one team or one organization doesn't recognize your value, it can feel like evidence. It can feel like proof. It can feel like something that is objectively true about you, and that has been confirmed because of the way that they are interacting with you or how they are choosing to give you work or not give you work. But it isn't evidence, because when the context changes and someone in a different room is looking at your expertise and they're recognizing it for what it is, you realize that actually it isn't about you and it's about the space that you are in. It's just one perspective that is shaped by that particular room's blind spots, their politics, their needs, their desires, and all of the things that go behind decisions that are made. And this is really important because we can so easily mistake a context as a concrete verdict. Like, because this is what I'm experiencing in this environment, this must be true. When actually it might be the fact that the manager is just not very good at distributing work in the right way. Or it might be that you haven't fully demonstrated all that you're capable of so that they don't know it, right? Or that they have other priorities as to why they are giving work to other people versus you. So there's a lot that could be going on beneath the surface around some of the decisions that are made, but you could be making it mean that you are not ready and that you are not capable of delivering at the level that we know you are capable of. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of one place that your expertise has either been dismissed or overlooked where you are. And I want you to ask yourself honestly, who was it dismissed by? Who was it dismissed by? And what do they actually know about the full scope of what you're capable of? What do they actually know? Have you articulated it? Has there been opportunity for you to showcase it? And if there hasn't, it may be that there is a disconnect at that level. Here is a thing that my client discovered that I really want you to take away from this episode. And it's one of the most freeing realizations that I get to watch people have. And it's the exact same blend of experience that can be sought after in another, because value is perceived. So if the context isn't right, someone isn't going to see it as valuable, right? Let's think about if you're in a supermarket and there are hundreds of bottles of water on the shelf. A bottle of water doesn't hold as much as much value as if you are standing in a desert and you are parched and you cannot see water for miles. That one bottle of water is going to have a lot of value, right? So context matters. So if you are finding that you are not being valued for the contribution that you make, you might need to consider how you're going to switch up the environment. And that doesn't necessarily mean you moving out of the role that you're in right now. Sometimes it means you just taking that expertise and you offering it externally and you testing and seeing how people respond to it differently. So think of a project, a client, a room, a conversation where your expertise hasn't been tested, somewhere where you haven't yet had the chance to show what you actually do, and then consider how you can maybe share it, how you can maybe test it and see if the response is different, right? And when you do that, and when you start testing, you're going to realize that your confidence gets built faster with proof. Confidence comes through taking action. It doesn't come through reassurance, right? I could tell my client all day long that she is brilliant and she is awesome, that she has all of these credentials, that she should lean into them. And quite frankly, I did do those things when we first started working together. But it wasn't until she offered her services externally and had her first client pay her money that she recognized that this expertise that she has that has been overvalued for so long is super valuable to somebody else. So you need to go out there and you need to test and you need to share so that you can build up the proof to get your confidence back. So we're not about just staying where you are, feeling undervalued and moaning and groaning about it. It's about saying, okay, well, let me take my expertise outside of this organization and let me see how it is received and received differently. So my challenge to you is create one small opportunity to offer your expertise somewhere else. Whether that is through a conversation, through offering a piece of advice, or to help someone outside of your usual lane. It can be small. It can be small, but we want it to be a real thing in terms of you sharing, and see how it's received and pay attention to the comments that you get, the feedback that you get, and allow that to really sit with you and where it's helpful, shift your perspective about what you bring to the table. My client wasn't wrong about her value. The room she was in was wrong about her. And if you're listening to this and some part of you has been wondering whether maybe you've been overestimating yourself, I want you to hear this clearly. Think about the room that you stand in, and you can create your own rooms and you can share your expertise elsewhere. If this episode has been helpful for you and found this insight useful, just know that these are the types of things that come up within the coaching work that I do with my clients inside of my coaching program to help them to really navigate their way through some of these mindset challenges that really hold you back from doing the work that you can absolutely do. So if this is of interest to you, the waitlist is open, the Portfolio Create Academy. So if you want to learn more about the program and how the coaching work that I do can support you, then go to the show notes, head over to careerchangemakers.com/waitlist. Hey, ambitious woman, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to follow the show and share it with someone who may be quietly rethinking their next chapter? Also, please leave a review. It really helps this message reach more ambitious women ready for career clarity. And it lights me up to know that this podcast is helpful to you. Until next time, go and take one strategic step forward, and I'll meet you back here in a few days for another episode. Let's keep building.